Good morning, children. Sairam. Today we will continue with the poem O Captain, My Captain by Walt Whitman. Last video we have finished the first stanza of the poem. The poem, which is classified as an elegy or mourning poem, is an extended metaphor written on the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. In the first stanza, we have seen how the sailor addresses the captain and says that they have reached the port. He tells him that he can hear the cheering of the people. But despite the successful voyage, the speaker finds the captain's dead body lying on the deck. Let's see what happens next. Now let's start with the second stanza of the poem. O captain, my captain, rise up and hear the bells. Rise up, for you the flag is flung. For you the bugle trills. For you bouquets and ribboned wreaths. For you the shores are crowding. For you they call, the swaying mass, their eager faces turning. Here, captain, dear father, this arm beneath your head. It is some dream that on the deck you have fallen cold and dead. Bugle trills means a short burst of notes from a trumpet, often meant to signify military victory. Here is a picture of a bugle. The military people, they blow the trumpet when they win a war. The sailor comes to the dead captain's side and begs him to rise up and hear the bells ringing. He begs him to see how the people are rejoicing, how they are raising the flags and playing the bugle for him. He tells the captain, the people have come with bouquets, flowers and ribbon wreaths, that is, flowers tied with ribbons. For you the shores are crowding, that is, the people are crowded for you. They want to meet you, they want to welcome you. They want to welcome the returning ship and the captain. For you they call, they are calling you. The swaying mass means the mass of the people, the crowd of the people who are excited to meet you. Their eager faces turning. Eager faces, they are eagerly waiting. The people, those who supported Lincoln, they are eagerly waiting for you. And they are very happy that the war has ended. He begs the captain to see all this. The sailor takes the dead captain in his arms and calls the captain father. Why? Because Lincoln is considered as the father of the nation. He has led the nation. So the poet also calls him father. He has kept his arm beneath the captain's head, but the captain cannot feel it because he is dead. He says that he must be dreaming. It is a horrible dream. He can't accept the reality that the captain has died just as they reached home. So what do we find in the second stanza? The speaker implores his captain, requests his captain to rise up and see the crowd eagerly rejoicing in his victorious return. As the speaker tells his captain, "For you the flag is flung, for you the bugle trills, and for you the shores are crowding." Again, the tone shifts as the speaker acknowledges, understands that his captain has fallen cold and dead, but expresses hope that it is some dream. Now let's see the literary devices used. What is the rhyme scheme used? AA, BB, C, D, ED. Now let's see how it is. Now let's see the same sounding words, the rhyme scheme. Bells, we will consider it as A. Trills, same sound, so A. Crowding, another sound, so B. Turning, B. Father, C. Head, another sound, so D. Deck, another sound, so you will put it as E. Head and dead, same sounding words, so you will put D. Now let's have the rhyming words. Bells rhymes with trills, crowding, turning, head, dead. Let's see the figures of speech. Rise up, for you the flag is flung, for you the bugle trills. Here, alliteration. Why? Because the sound of the letter F is repeated. For, flag, flung. Okay, for, everywhere F sound is repeated. The sound of the letter F is repeated. So it is alliteration. Here it is also repetition. Why? Because the words for you is repeated twice. You have fallen cold and dead. This is tautology. Why? Here similar meaning words, that is cold and dead, are used in the same line. Now let's see the next stanza, that is third stanza. My captain does not answer, his lips are pale and still. My father does not feel my arm, he has no pulse nor will. The ship is anchored safe and sound, its voyage closed and done. From fearful trip the victor ship comes in with object won. Exult, O shores, and ring, O bells, but I with mournful tread walk the deck, my captain lies, fallen cold and dead. The sailor says that his captain does not respond to him. His lips are pale and still. The color has left his face and he has become pale and he has become still. That is, he is not living anymore. My father does not feel my arm. The captain does not respond to his touch. He has no pulse, that is, no heart rate, and nor will, no will to move. It shows that he is dead. The ship is anchored safe and sound, its voyage closed and done. From fearful trip, the victor ship comes in with object one. Here, the ship finally arrives safely in the harbor and drops its anchor. Its trip is done. The speaker reminds us that the trip was difficult and dangerous, but the mission was a success. Victor ship means here the victorious ship. Exult, O shores, and ring, O bells. Here, the speaker tells the whole country to celebrate. The poet has used shores as a symbol to represent the crowds of people standing there. He wants them to keep cheering and celebrating the homecoming of the ship and the success of the mission. But I, with mournful tread, walk the deck, my captain lies fallen cold and dead. He says, while the crowd is celebrating, he remains beside the captain who has fallen dead. So what do we see? In the third and final stanza, the speaker examines his deceased captain, whose lips are pale and still, and who has no pulse or will. Though the voyage is complete and the ship safely harbored, the speaker is racked with grief, is filled with grief. He calls for the bells to be rung and for the crowds to exult, but he walks with mournful tread. See the lines. On the deck my captain lies, fallen cold and dead. So, what do you find? Though the people are celebrating, he is very sad. He is confused. What is to be done? Whether to celebrate the victory or to mourn the dead. Now let's find out the rhyme scheme of the third stanza. The first sound, still. So write A, it goes with will. Then you have done, another letter B. So it goes with 1. Bells. So another sound. So put C. The next sound, tread. So write D. And then lies is another sound. So write E. And tread goes with dead. So same letter, that is D. So what do we find? The rhyme scheme is AA, BB, C, DED. Now, rhyming words. Still, will, done, 1, tread, dead. Now let's see the figures of speech. His lips are pale and still. Here it is tautology. Here similar meaning words pale and still are used in the same line. The ship is anchored safe and sound. What is it? Alliteration. Here the sound of S is repeated. Ship, safe, sound. The poet has used imagery in his poem. Imagery appeals to the 5 senses of the readers. The poet has used visual imagery such as cold and dead, lips are pale and still, bleeding drops of red, and mournful tread. Whitman's choice of powerful words has made the reader visualize the death of the captain. This poem is elegy, that is mourning poem. The language is metaphorical and figurative. The tone of the poem is solemn. It is written in the honor of American President Abraham Lincoln. Lots of implied meanings are used in the poem, like the ship, which represents America, captain, the president of USA. Now children, you have understood the poem. Let us see the value points. This will help you to answer the questions. Now children, answer these questions with reference to context. Some lines are given from the poem. You have to answer the questions. O captain, my captain, our fearful trip is done. The ship has weathered every rack. The prize we sought is won. What trip is literally and figuratively being referred to here? Literally, the ship has reached the harbor, and figuratively, the victory of the Union has been achieved. Which prize is being talked about here? Figuratively, the prize refers to the victory of the Union. Literally, it is a victory in the battle. In what way was the trip fearful? Figuratively, it is the fear associated with the outcome of the civil war, and literally, it is the fear associated with the victory in the battle. Children, I hope you have understood the poem. At the end of the video, there will be a link. You have to click on the link and submit your answers in the worksheet. Till then, goodbye. Have a nice day.